The second half, you didn't think it was going to be your day?
After lose the ball, my head is down, but I look my brothers. They say, "Gabi, let's go," and I put my head up, and I so happy to score, and the team and the sport for help to me.
So it was very emotional for you.
Yes, of course. When I score, after the ref say handball, I just ask to God. But
You got to celebrate twice in the end.
yes, I celebrate for. You look my celebration. You like?
Yeah, I like.
Thank you. But so happy, so happy, and with my team and doing 3 points. It's a big fight, but this is Premier League. But so happy now.
So as a group, you're stuck with him, Martin. But at 1-0, what are you thinking, having probed all first half?
Yeah, I think we played really good first half. We just missed the goal, and then we're a bit unlucky. But that's football, that happens, and then it's the team's job to lift him up again. And also he shows great character to come back and score the winning goal. And I think it shows the team spirit. Someone makes a mistake, we lift him up and we take responsibility and we strike back.
I mean, your goal didn't go in clean, but do we see the benefits there of sometimes just having a shot?
Yeah. I was going to shoot a few more times actually. Then I decided to pass in the end. So. Yeah, I'm glad I made a decision to shoot at that one.
So 4 wins on the spin to start this season. How excited should we be getting about this Arsenal team?
No, as I said before, we have to stay calm. We have to take it game by game, work hard, and we have to go for the next one and win that one. That's the mindset.
So your team and fans at the moment?
Yeah, it's a great chemistry, and I think we make a mistake, we get 1-0 down, but they keep supporting us, and it helped us a lot in the end. So we're grateful for all the support we get.
So there's some dispute about this Player of the Match award, isn't there? Are you happy to hand it over, Gabriel? I know you wanted it for yourself.
Of course.
Not of course.
You want it yourself, huh?
Give it to me.
Okay, to you.
No,
Take it.
no, take it.
Thank you.
That was brilliant. Mo, you scored a few late goals in your career. Must be a great feeling.
The best feeling in the world, because obviously the opposition get no time whatsoever to hit back at you. So yeah, I mean, I think the place. I don't think it's not necessarily a coincidence that happened today. I think it was mentioned there in the interview. I just feel that the players, the fans, there's something quite special now. It's felt like quite a sour place for a few years. It's felt like the fans don't really like the players and vice versa, and you've had all, bit of petulance between captains and fans and throwing shirts here and there, and it's felt from the outside it's been quite a sour place, but it just feels now there's the real bond again, and the players look as if they're a unit as well. So I'd be excited if I was an Arsenal fan.
Do you think we're finally now seeing Mikel Arteta's team? It's taken him a while to get there, hasn't it?
I think so. I think it does take time. When you have a philosophy and a style that you want to play, in order to allow that to happen, you need the right players, profiling of players, and he probably didn't have that when he went there. And he was trying to get rid of players and trying to create the right environment. And I think that he's got that, or he's close to getting that now. And the players have bought into what he wants to do. And you can see that, as Michael says there, with the team today. You haven't seen an Arsenal team when a player goes down from a foul, they get round him and they're together and they're picking him up. And yeah, it looked ugly at times, and the referee had to get involved. But we haven't seen an Arsenal team that have backed their teammates up as much as they did today. And it is, as an Arsenal fan, it's really good to see. And as you mentioned, are they onto something special? They could be.
They could be, because they're unbeaten so far this Premier League season. They have had the perfect start. But they didn't have the perfect start in this game, did they? Because it was Mitrovic that got Fulham off the mark and, again, delivering what he has done best this season.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to Fulham. They tried to pen them in from that throw-in, and look how many bodies you can see in that picture of white shirts. I mean, so they've done their homework. They wanted to nick the ball off them, and they did. I just feel that this is almost Pep Guardiola-esque, isn't it? The midfield player. Look at Tierney in the centre there. That's the left back. That's standard now. That's where normal left back would stand. But of course, Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta, they're cut from the same cloth, aren't they? And they like their full-backs actually coming in and outnumbering. But as much as I don't disagree with that, I do think that you've got to be in secure possession of the ball before you're going to start venturing in. Because when the ball comes to Gabriel there, he's got no outlet. He can't pass anywhere. And all of a sudden, because he takes a bad touch, he can't get himself out of it. Mitrovic robs him. Great finish, and it was a good goal from Fulham's point of view. But as I say, fine with the principle of it, but be in control of possession before you start, putting players in that. Because as I say, he had no outlet whatsoever once we took his first touch.
I think as well, because, you know, the flight of the ball, so it's in the air, that gives Mitrovic a chance to go and put aggressive pressure on until it comes down. So Tini should really recognise that, and as Michael said, he should be in a left-back position in order for him to get there, because he's got no out, as you mentioned there, and then, you know, Mitrovic is strong, aggressive, gets all over him, and a tidy finish in the end.
He's only doing what the other midfield player's doing anyway. Tierney's literally stood 5 yards in front of him, so it's not like he's offering a different option. There's already that option into midfield anyway. So, yeah, I get it, and we've seen it, and we see Pep Guardiola's team doing it on a regular basis, and I'm intrigued by it, and I like it. But it has to be in secure possession of the ball before you start wandering in there. You have to have options.
Well, it wasn't too long. It was actually 8 minutes until Odegaard actually replied and levelled the score. He has been great for this Arsenal side, hasn't he? 2 goals last weekend and now a goal today.
He has, and he was causing problems all afternoon. And you could see him in these pockets. He was in them. When we said in the first half, he was finding it hard to get on the ball. And here he finds himself, in a really tight space, but takes the ball really well. We mentioned in the first half about just stretching. If you look at Jesus, he's running behind. I think that just drags the defender slightly, which just gives Odegaard enough space for somebody of his quality to open himself up and get that shot away. Slight deflection, but a fantastic finish for Arsenal and Odegaard. But he was consistent in those pockets all afternoon for Arsenal, and it was only a matter of time before something happened for him. And yes, there was a bit of luck with it, but I think that you get your own luck. And because he was, as I said, because he was consistent and getting in between those lines, I think he deserved that goal in the end.
It's those players that can play in those short spaces, they're the real class acts. Anyone can play with loads of space, anybody. But you see there, but you see in tight situations there, he gets played the ball and there's still 3 or 4 players and he throws his leg over just to create another inch of space. And obviously, it almost, once you throw your leg over, you then can push off your right foot and then bang with your left foot. I mean, it's class. It's pure class, being able to work in tight areas like that, and he can do it. And as Farah said in the first half, it's for Arsenal to create those spaces in between the lines, to get their magic players like that playing, because there was just not enough space in the first half, but that was then created, and then the little magician came up with the goal.
And then, after the mistake that we saw from Gabriel earlier on in the match, he then redeemed himself and snatched a very late winner.
He did, and it come from the delivery. Martinelli's deliveries today from set pieces wasn't great, and he actually puts it, they were all going quite far and lofted, but this one's just right in the mixer, right in that near post area where makes the keeper have to make a decision. And we've seen there, he's got to get over bodies, misses the punch, and it falls nicely to Gabriel, and look, he'll be pleased with that, given the mistake for the first goal, that he can put it away.
Yeah, it's just a brilliant area to hit it in. As you say, goalkeeper's got 2 options. You stay at home or you come and try to punch. But if you're going to come and try to punch, you've got to go through bodies. And that's what he had to do. And, of course, they were going to always try to say there was a foul, there was a blocking, there was grappling or whatever. But it was just put in a really dangerous area. And that was his best corner kick. 2 of them early in the second half. I was screaming at the television, wasn't I? Keeps floating. His goalkeeper catching practice at the back post. First half, he curls one that hits the top of the bar. It gets a new from the crowd, but it's a poor corner. It's not what you're trying to do. So it was poor delivery. Even though he had a good game, it was poor delivery on a lot of those corners. But that was the one that he put it in a really dangerous areas, and that bore fruit. And
actually, what we've seen now is a reaction from Arsenal. They've shown character, and in previous seasons we've criticised them for being behind in a game and not being able to come back. But today they have shown that character.
Yeah, they did. You heard Gabriel, that was interesting in the interview there. He said his head went. And last season, when his head had gone, when he made mistakes, he made a lot of mistakes last season. When his head went, he couldn't get back into the game. And you heard him say in the interview there, he was able to find positive, maybe it was his touches that he had after, or won a tackle. And his teammates got around him. And you could see that support from the teammates. I think that because they've started the season so well, I think if they'd have started the season like they did last year, this game might have finished differently. But I think they're on a buzz, and as we keep mentioning, something's happening with this Arsenal team and Arteta, and you can see that today.
And the feeling, I mentioned it before, but the feeling around the crowd as well. In
they
previous seasons, they did, yeah. If you make a mistake like that, you just felt there was the disconnect. But even, you're right in what you say in terms of the players rallied round, but the crowd were really there right till the end with them as well. And that, you can't over-egg how much of a difference it is when you've got the crowd with you as well. I mean, you're almost unbeatable at home if you've got that good balance. Well,